G'day fellow creatures of the internet, this is must see and subscribe to going here on YouTube, Bruzo Dragonius, and online ambassador of Black Marsh, Bruzo Dragonius also. I know that for sure that this is pretty much of a very late topic that I have been meaning to address as of late. I know that people were over it. I don't know if it's an actual thing. I just want to put you in this situation, right? You are furry, going to elementary school or primary school if you are in Australia, and in high school, right? And once upon a time, you decided, well, you don't have to be a furry to do this, but however, I know that you don't really like kids eventually won't recognize a furry until later on in life, okay? But let's put it in this way, right? Just think of a scenario, hypothetically, that you're a young kid and you decide to play family, maybe that you would have someone act as a dog or a cat, and then teachers decide to call you out for it. And they do one thing. Either they cut you off from the classroom and call your parents to pick you up, or do something that is very dehumanizing and degrading, you know, that they decide to call animal control on you, or here in Australia, council rangers, RSPCA, you know, if you're in Australia, they end up going there and kidnap you, put you in the back of the truck and take you to an actual animal pound where your parents have to pick you up from, and you're still in the cage. Well, to be honest with you, that was actually a thing that I don't know if it would be an idea from the conservative right, and I'm sorry that I'm going to have to put with politics and all that kind of stuff, but I just sort of found a bit WTF. You know, it's completely it is overdue, and there's like various stories that's on social media about it on Twitter that have been happening on around January. Now, this news is 2 months old, okay? But that's the one thing that a politician, a Republican state rep of the state of Oklahoma, up in the US, over in the US, State Representative Justin Humphrey proposed. And the article that I'm reading, which is with Fox News and all that kind of stuff, and this so-called bill, I don't know if it's passed, that's a proposal, would crack down on so-called furries. I don't know how they end up putting the asterisk on furries, from attending school, and require either guardian or animal control, and I'm not joking, animal control, to pick up students in violation of the rule. This sort of bill, don't know if it's passed, hopefully it didn't, but I just don't get this, because of the fact being is that, really, calling animal control for kids, to pick kids up, abduct them, put them in the back of the truck, and put them into a pound. That is just convoluted there. This is just what the actual... So it goes with this. The bill introduced late last year by Republican State Rep Justin Humphrey targets furries on whatdictionary.com described as members of the subculture devoted to art, writing, costumes, and depicting anthropomorphic animals. Okay, so they're not really wrong with that. And it is targeting. And this is this sort of law that would once go like into school, right? And it says this: students who purport to be an imagery animal or animal species or engage in anthropomorphic behavior commonly referred to as furries at school shall not be allowed to participate in school curriculum or activities, the bill states. Okay? I mean, what the hell? I mean, I know for sure that majority of us furries are not really identify ourselves as animals. I mean, look at my human hands. I mean, look at it. Arms. Do you see anything, right? I know that I'm not wearing hands, but do you actually see anything that would state otherwise? You know? And this is just out of character and all that kind of stuff. And yet, I don't know, what's the big deal? Why do people have so much hate for the furries? Because we are different, right? So let's put this straight. So let me get this straight, right? I mean, I know for sure that as a kid, I sort of used to play dinosaurs, sharks, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you were a dinosaur and if you're playing dinosaur, apparently, I mean, there is this rule in Oklahoma saying that you can't even play as some animal that even exists, and God forbid that if that bill passed, God forbid if you play Peppa Pig with all the animal noises and all that kind of stuff. You know, with the oinking and the barking and all that kind of stuff. Or if you play Family and someone ends up becoming a dog. And I don't know if they even decide to play Bluey or whatever those games, those role-playing games and whatnot. So it just continues. The parent or guardian of a student in violation of this section shall pick the student up, which I said, from the school, or animal control services shall be contacted to remove the student. The bill continues. So, quite obvious where it's going to go and all that kind of stuff. But the bill it passed, which hopefully it wouldn't, will take effect 1st November. Okay, so this is just, what the hell, right? If for the empathy of the kids or the furries living in Oklahoma, honestly, right, conservative right, I mean, I know for sure that I don't need to I don't want to talk about politics and all that kind of stuff. But I could really imagine if I was working for the RSPCA as a human, right? Or work as a council ranger, and then I don't know, ended up seeing a group of kids playing as animals or acting as animals in the school playground, and we got caught from it. I don't know, probably bullied from the teacher which I sort of believe that's basically a harmless activity and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, what the hell is the harm? I mean, not only that, but I can imagine how if I were a council ranger and if I were to be sent out to a school to abduct a kid that was deciding to play Family or play Peppa Pig or be a dinosaur and all that kind of stuff. And probably if they were to play a dinosaur, I mean, I don't want to swear on this video, but For crying out loud. America is going backwards as we speak in politics, you know, and it's ever first that there is this rule against the LGBTQ and furries, you know, because of Ron DeSantis. And now this, right? And this is following the rule about the myth that furries wanting the freaking, get this right, and I did a video on it, but furries wanting the litter box in the school bathrooms because they identify as a cat. I mean, come on, please. Honestly. And I'm going on, and if I'm going to look up Justin Humphries on Wikipedia, now I now recently looked onto a Wikipedia article, and it says that Justin J.J. Humphrey, born in August 17, 1966, which I don't really give a damn about with his year, who has served as a member of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, representing the 19th, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care. Quite obvious that he's a member of the Republican Party, right? So very much typical of him, that's of him outlawing furries participating in school activities even as students, right? This is the one thing I don't get, right? And this makes me hate him even more. Humphrey has gained media coverage, but this is according to Wikipedia, for several of his proposed bills during his tenure. He expressed support for banning abortion, except in cases of women's life being in danger. Banning transgender athletes from sport. Okay. Nothing new. But get this. Legalizing cockfighting and for designating all Hispanic street gang members in Oklahoma as terrorists. But legalizing cockfighting, I mean, why? Like, so, I just don't get it. I mean, like, legalizing something with chickens literally, you know, like, killing each other just for money. Okay, well, I mean, damn you to avoid and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, and of course he was endorsed by Donald Trump. I mean, and there's another thing that is even recently new. And if banning furries from school activities and school curriculum activities or whatever is one thing in Oklahoma. I mean, there's another thing that I just have. But this is another reason why the state of Oklahoma is just absolutely screwed or something like that. I mean, there's even something about another thing about some trans kid in Oklahoma, that same very state have been bullied, like they have banned trans kids from bathrooms. I mean, this is just, what the hell. Next, Benedict died one day after a fight in the school bathroom. The mother sued. Benedict tells some reporter that a gender fluid teenager endured more than a year of abuse by simply for being who they were. And this kid, like next Benedict, who was actually 16 years old, died one day after being insulted in a bathroom at Oswego High School in Oklahoma. For some reason, like, there's some really, really messed up things and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, this sort of bullying has started in the earnest of the beginning of 2023 school year, a few months after Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill required public school students to use bathrooms matched to their sex listed on their birth certificates. I mean, this is how this world is going to. So, for instance, like, I know for sure that I'm, born a guy, a male, and still a male then, right? Like, what the hell? And this article still goes on. A few weeks ago, on 7th of February, the bullying allegedly erupted in violence when Next suffered severe head injuries during a physical altercation at this particular high school, according to some local police department. Next barely beaten with bruises over their face, eyes, with scratches on the back of the head. They've been bullied by older girls in the bathroom. Next was knocked to the ground during a fight and hit their head on the floor, according to the mother. Of course, that next Benedict's mum was actually angry. But get this, right? The mother claimed that she was furious that the school had failed to call an ambulance or the police, so it's all hush-hush, which is disgusting. She said the school then informed her Next being suspended for 2 weeks for what? Being a victim of a bullying just for being trans. Right. She took Next, they spoke to the police after school resource officer at medical facility was discharged. That night, Next went off to bed with a sore head and eventually fell asleep while listening to music. And it apparently happened that the mother called the ambulance, and the fire department apparently with the breathing and all that kind of stuff. And going down this article, there was nothing done whatsoever to the perps. And of course, this sort of death is a hate crime. And it turns out that the way things are going in Oklahoma, which is a conservative, right-wing Republican state, it looks like it's all hush-hush. And honestly, and I don't see any charges in that to those perps in that. It is claimed that Next was a straight-A student who enjoyed drawing, reading, playing video games, Ark and Minecraft, who was devoted to their cat Zeus, Miss Benedict said. So, in other words, And it's going on with this woke ideology, which, I mean, so anyway, it's been hush hush. And I don't see any charges being laid by the cops. As a matter of fact, they had a bit of a slap of a wrist. So, if you ask me, I mean, Oklahoma isn't the state that's heading against furries, but it's been hating against people of the LGBTQ+, especially the trans community. And as an ally, I am just absolutely disgusted about it. I mean, I don't know if I probably would put this as either Oklahoma is becoming more and more apt, or if I were to put this thing in, Oklahoma bans furries from school and all that kind of stuff, and I can really imagine that even back then, I would imagine if I were the dog catcher or whatever, I would like say, I've been to a school kidnapping a kid for acting or playing animals and all that kind of stuff. Like, I tell you what, if I were in animal control, I would not be paid. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be paid for that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be in my job description, but that's the way politics are going over in America. So, anyway, you're more than welcome to give me your thoughts on this matter, whether it's the hate crime against a trans kid from school, or the bill proposing to ban furries from school activities and all that kind of stuff. This is literally what the absolute hell that we're all seeing, where there's so many ignorant people, especially the Republicans, especially the right wing, and think the hiss that none of this BS is here in Australia yet, you know? After all, who knows? So comment down what you think on this matter. If you do like this video, make sure you just press the thumbs up. Help me out by subscribing to this channel. As much that I really do appreciate if you are one of my new subscribers, thank you so much. And as always, the usual links to my social media and ways of giving money is also in the description down below. My gaming tag is Bruzo21 if you wanted to find me in Tamriel, or even find me on PSN or whatever. And remember, my gamer tag is Bruzo21. Thank you so much for watching this video, and to my new subscribers. I know for sure that I just need to get this out of my freaking head already. My apologies for talking about politics again, but this has to do with the entire furry fandom, which is especially over there in America. And so thank you for watching my gibberish and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, if you wanted to be the first one to know, make sure you hit that bell icon so you all turn on notifications on. and thank you for watching this. And as always, I'm going to end this. I hope to bring in something more positive and all that kind of stuff, or more educational in the future. But until then, until next time, may He guide you all. Bye for now.